3, 2, 1.
Hi, this is Genesis, and you're watching Dontaesboxingnation.
That was a tremendous display. If we could turn this way, Devin. It was the left hand in June. It was the right hand here in October. The right hand so effective here tonight. In the lead up to this fight, we spoke about the pound for pound rankings and how you had no respect from the judges who come up with the pound for pound rankings. Now have you earned their respect?
Yeah, I should definitely be on the pound for pound rankings. In the first fight, they said all I had was my jab. Today I came in and I showed them my right hand. I showed how versatile I am. I came to Australia not once but twice. I honored it and beat the man in his hometown twice. I definitely deserve to be on the pound for pound rankings.
I think that will change pretty soon.
Okay, well, this has never been done. Going to someone's home, beating them, and going back to someone's home, mate, 1,000 miles away and beating them worse.
Yeah, 100%. Like I said, this guy is a pound for pound top 5 fighter in the world. His skills, his movement, he could move up to 140 and dominate as well. So this guy's going to be around for a long time. And like I said, I'm very humbled to be in there. 24 rounds, give him my all.
Dontaesboxingnation, what's going on, guys? So this is bad news for ESPN. This is really bad news for ESPN because ESPN, who actually put Devin Haney on their pound-for-pound list after Devin became the youngest undisputed champion in the sport of boxing today, beating Kambosos in the first fight, they removed him only weeks later from their list. Now, just so you guys understand this, there are currently 3 undisputed champions in the sport of boxing right now: Jermell Charlo, Devin Haney, and Canelo Alvarez. Out of the 3, Canelo Alvarez is the only one coming off of a recent loss. And coincidentally, he is the only one that ESPN has on their list today. They do not have Jermell Charlo and Devin Haney on their list. But yet they also have Inoue on their list. And there's no way you can have Inoue on anyone's pound-for-pound list and not have Stephen Fulton on the list as well. So if we're looking at a real, impartial pound-for-pound list, we're not talking about some popularity list. In no particular order, a real list would include Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence, Devin Haney, Jermell Charlo, Stephen Fulton, and Shakur Stevenson. Now, when it comes to Stephen Fulton, ESPN, they take advantage of the fact that he doesn't have a really big, massive name, just like, coincidentally, Inoue doesn't have a big name. They make sure they don't mention Stephen Fulton's name, but yet, after Bam Bam Rodriguez's second to last fight, right after Shakur Stevenson said that Bam Bam is special and he's this and he's that, right after that, ESPN, they wrote an article saying that he's closing in on the pound-for-pound list. But they never bothered to write an article on Stephen Fulton, who's more accomplished and way more skilled than Jesse Bam Bam Rodriguez. And not to mention has beat better competition than Inoue. With that being said, let's get back to Devin Haney. So when the Australian commentator, boxing commentator, Warren Smith, when he interviewed Devin Haney, what Warren Smith actually did is he kind of forced Devin Haney to tell people why he's pound for pound one of the best fighters in the world today after his second dominant win over George Kambosos. Devin was already pound for pound one of the best fighters in the world before this rematch with George Kambosos. But if Warren Smith didn't ask the question to Devin Haney the way he did, then Devin would have probably just said something like, hey, it's their opinion wherever they want to put me on the list, etc., etc. But the way Warren Smith presented the question, it gave Devin Haney an opportunity to knock the question out of the park and reinforce the fact that he is, pound for pound, one of the best fighters in the world.
Yeah, I should definitely be on the pound for pound rankings. In the first fight, they said all I had was my jab. Today I came in and I showed them my right hand. I showed how versatile I am. I came to Australia not once but twice. I honored it and beat the man in his hometown twice. I definitely deserve to be on the pound for pound rankings.
I think that will change pretty soon.
He said, I think that will change pretty soon. boxing commentator from Australia, Warren Smith, and George Kambosos, who said that Devin Haney is not only pound for pound one of the best fighters in the world, but he's top 5, one of the best fighters in the world. They're sending a direct message to ESPN and the rest of the old media, and they're telling them you can no longer justify not putting this man on the pound for pound list. And that's what I meant when I said that this is bad news for ESPN. Because keep in mind, even George Kambosos, before the fight, leading up to the fight in the press conference, we heard George Kambosos say, you know, if Devin Haney knocks me out, he should be on the pound for pound list, right? And when he said that, old media, they ran with him saying that. They wrote articles quoting George Kambosos saying this. And now, after seeing firsthand what this man Devin Haney did to George Kambosos this past weekend, George says that Devin Haney is top 5, pound for pound, one of the best fighters in the world. And Devin Haney's father, he told Devin Haney that he's going to go down as one of the greatest fighters of all time. This is extreme high praise. This is extreme high praise, because they could have said those things about Lomachenko, and they're not. They're saying it about Devin Haney. You see, when it comes to ESPN, they want to emulate exactly what Paulie Malignaggi said. ESPN, they low-key love what Paulie said when he said that the sport is now dominated by European fighters, and it's no longer the black fighters' time in the sport of boxing. Now, of course, ESPN, they couldn't come out and co-sign what Paulie Malignaggi said. They couldn't repeat any of that, because then they would expose themselves as racist, just like Paulie did. So what they did instead is they put together a pound for pound list that is a reflection of Paulie's ideology. I named 6 black American boxers that should be currently on every pound for pound list today. And ESPN only has 3 of those fighters on that list. Why? Because they don't want the list to look like it's being dominated by black American boxers, which it is being dominated by black American boxers, regardless if they put them on the list or not. ESPN, they want the list to look like it's the Europeans' time and it is no longer the black fighters' time, as Paulie put it. By the way, for those of you guys who don't know, that statement is actually what got Paulie Malignaggi fired from Showtime as a boxing commentator. They even gave him a chance to retract what he said by apologizing, and Paulie refused to apologize. So it's going to be really interesting to see how ESPN plays their cards when it comes to their pound for pound list and Devin Haney, because they're going to have to put Devin Haney on the list. And once they put Devin Haney on the list, that would make 4 out of the 6 on that list black American. They would also have to remove someone from that list to put Devin Haney on there. And we already know they have Lomachenko on that list, who doesn't even deserve to be on the list. He has no belts, he has 2 losses on his record, and he hasn't avenged any of them. Inoue is another fighter that does not deserve to be on the pound for pound list. Even Gervonta Tank Davis has faced better competition than Inoue has. There's absolutely no way you can criticize Gervonta Tank Davis' opponents or level opposition and not do the same thing when it comes to Inoue. So once again, with boxers like George Kambosos, an Australian reporter, or commentators like Warren Smith telling ESPN Devin Haney needs to be on the list, it's going to be really interesting to see how ESPN plays this. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one. All right, now check this out, guys. If you're looking to repair eczema scars, burns and bruises, dark spots and blemishes, fever blisters, diabetic ulcers, this right here is the perfect product for you guys. It's called LO Decay Face and Body Oil. Athletes and top-ranking boxers, they're also using it after training to reduce swelling, inflammation, and to ease the pain. So get yours today. Go to lodecay.com, like them on Facebook, and follow them on Instagram. Let me tell you guys about Issa Israel Law Firm. It is a full-service legal practice based in Denver, Colorado, an emerging hub for combat sports and high-altitude training. If you're a fighter inside or outside of the ring and you need a law firm you can trust to fight for you, visit thefighterfirm.com or email help@iilawfirm.com. Legal representation is usually limited to plaintiffs or defendants in Colorado, but iFirm can help anyone in the world with trademarking their business name, logos, and U.S. immigration issues. This brother has been my attorney for a while and helped guide me through all kinds of business and civil issues, so make sure you guys go to thefighterfirm.com.